video, I'll explore how character design communicates heroism and villainy in The Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess, a Japanese action-adventure game for the Nintendo Wii that combines Western medieval fantasy with deeply rooted Eastern symbolism. We'll examine Link, the embodiment of courage and purity, and Ganondorf, the manifestation of ambition and corruption. By analysing colour, shape, physiology, pose and texture, we'll see how the artists at Nintendo use design to express personality, morality and culture, turning visual art into storytelling. Before analysing the characters, it's important to understand the cultural lens through which they were created. Twilight Princess was developed in Japan, but draws heavily on Western medieval iconography, knights, castles, and traditional Christian undertones of light versus darkness. The fusion of these influences gives the designs a culturally diverse foundation. Link resembles the archetypical Western hero, a humble knight, guided by destiny, while Ganondorf channels the Eastern concept of balance disrupted, symbolising the spiritual and natural world thrown into chaos and disorder. Both characters also have animal forms, but I won't discuss those today, as they're both similar in design language and make the topic too dense. Link. His design immediately identifies him as the hero. His colour palette, earthy greens, warm browns and muted silvers, evoke life, nature and harmony. Green in Japanese culture often represents renewal and balance, connecting Link to the spiritual energy of the land. In Twilight Princess, where the environment is shrouded in grey twilight, Link's green tunic becomes a visual signifier of hope. The colour isn't just aesthetic, it's symbolic of the light he brings into a darkened world. His shape language is composed of clean, rounded and balanced forms. The rectangular silhouette, even from shoulders to hips and then knees, conveys stability and readiness. Squared and rectangular designs traditionally symbolise courage, strength and groundedness, reinforcing his role as the underdog and the hero through geometry. Link's physiology is lean and athletic, but not overly exaggerated. His proportions align with classical heroic ideals, but are still realistic, grounded and approachable. This invites players to project themselves into his journey. The textures of his costume, woven fabric, soft leather and polished steel, suggest humility and functionality. His design avoids excessive ornamentation, reflecting a personality that values action over appearance. Even his pose communicates readiness and virtue. Upright posture, centered stance and focused gaze. He moves with fluidity, symbolizing balance, skill and adaptability. Together these design elements define Link as the hero of courage, pure, balanced and connected to nature. In stark contrast, Ganondorf's design embodies the essence of dominance, corruption and divine rebellion. His colour palette is built on deep blacks, burnt reds and metallic gold. While gold symbolises divinity, here it's darkened, visually communicating power twisted by greed and ambition. The red hair and glowing orange eyes link him to fire, a destructive counterpart to Link's earthly greens. His shape is large and imposing, with heavy divine references to Asura from classic Buddhist and Japanese mythology. He has harsh shapes and angles, with a preference for triangular protrusions that intimate danger and threat. Physically, Ganondorf's physiology exaggerates masculine power, a broad chest, thick neck and heavy musculature, with a smaller head and eyes. These traits are common in villain archetypes. They're designed to intimidate and emphasize dominance over finesse and thought. The textures in his design contrast Link's natural materials. Ganondorf's armor is metallic, hard and polished, a rejection of the organic. It's a symbol of control over nature, reflecting his moral and spiritual corruption and rejection of the natural order. His pose is slow, deliberate and regal. The elevated chin and squared shoulders display arrogance and authority. In cinematic scenes, he rarely rushes. His movements are measured, suggesting absolute confidence in his own power. Lighting completes the image. Ganondorf is often half-lit, surrounded by shadow, symbolizing a man caught between human ambition and demonic corruption. Every element of his visual identity reinforces his narrative role, the corrupted king who seeks to dominate light through darkness. When viewed side by side, Link and Ganondorf's designs form a complete visual dialogue of light and shadow, humility and hubris, nature and control. Colour-wise, Link's organic greens and browns merge with his environment, suggesting unity and empathy. Ganondorf's blacks and reds dominate their surroundings, separating him from nature and life. For shape, Link's symmetrical, flowing lines evoke mobility and balance. Ganondorf's angular and top-heavy silhouette projects an immovable power, strength that borders on oppression. In terms of physiology, Link's lean form symbolizes agility and human potential. Ganondorf's massive build represents brute force and the corruption of that same human form. Pose-wise, Link is dynamic, with open stances that invite interaction. Ganondorf's rigid, closed posture isolates him. Confident, but detached and inhuman. For textures, Link's natural materials suggest authenticity and harmony. Ganondorf's manufactured metallic sheen reflects vanity and control. These visual opposites are not accidental, they are storytelling devices. They translate moral and thematic contrasts into forms the audience can feel instantly, even without dialogue. This sophisticated use of design language reflects Nintendo's mastery of cultural synthesis, combining Western heroic imagery with Eastern spiritual dualism to craft universally recognizable archetypes with strong visual identities. Twilight Princess demonstrates how visual design is more than just aesthetics. It's a language that defines morality and emotion. Through colour, shape, physiology and texture, Link and Ganondorf become visual opposites, light and shadow bound by a shared destiny. Link's organic design expresses harmony, courage and humility, virtues rooted in connection to nature and human innovation. Ganondorf's ornate metallic form conveys ambition, ego and control, the corruption of that same human nature. Together they personify the eternal balance at the heart of both Japanese and Western storytelling traditions. The light and darkness exist not just in the world, but within us. Their designs remind us that great characters don't just tell their story, they show it through every line, colour and form. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more.